Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Brooks, and I'm leader of Team Courage, exclusive Black status leader. And I'm super, super, super excited because I'm starting a new series for the month of May, and I'm calling it Interview with a Leader. And the reason why I'm doing this series is because our business is not really tremendously complicated. Every top leader that you see has gotten there by doing some fundamentally similar actions. You know, some do it via parties, everybody has a different path, and yet there are certain things that are always the same. However, hearing from different leaders is how we learn. Most of us don't come into this business having all the answers already. We watch and we learn and we listen to the people who have come before us. I mean, it's like life in general. I'm a big fan of, if somebody's come before me and they've been successful at it, then I want to learn what they've done so that I can get better. And what better way to do that than by spotlighting leaders, not just within Unique as a whole, but within Team Courage, the company of Team Courage. And so today we have our first leader, which is Charissa Morgan. She's the first exclusive rank presenter within Team Courage. She is purple status. She is phenomenal. I get the privilege of talking to her every single week. I hear how she leads her team. She leads with love, but she also is fiercely determined to make things happen, and it's incredible. She has a lot to share. She has a lot to teach. This is her first time ever. I've been trying to get on our team call forever, guys, like forever. So I'm super, super, super pumped to have her sharing bits of her story and what she's done and things that she's overcome and her mindset behind her business, because guys, mindset is about 90% of what we do. So without further ado, I'm going to unmute Charissa. Hold on. And we're gonna get started. Okay, hold on. Charissa, you might have to unmute yourself. So if you click on your, oh, did I just unmute you? How do I unmute you? Well, so Charissa, I want you to click on, there you go, you're unmuted. Okay, so Charissa, if you will start and just tell us quickly what your journey so far with Unique has been, when you hit your promotions, that sort of stuff.
Okay. Hi guys, I am Charissa Morgan. I am the leader of the Glam Mafia. I am an exclusive purple status presenter with Unique. My journey started in November of 2014. I didn't know why I signed. I just signed because I wanted a discount on my products, and if I could help some of my friends get something and basically get my products for free, that's where I was going with it. So I didn't do really anything. I had one party, and I was absolutely terrified after that of ever doing another party again. It completely flopped. I did not have a launch party. I did not do anything to set my business up for success. I did nothing. And so I just was in it for just a hobby. I wasn't in it for business at all. And then January of 2015 hit, and everything completely changed. I was sitting on a balcony in Myrtle Beach, and it was my birthday weekend, and I was listening to a conference call. I was watching my kids play, and I was selling makeup. I finally had a first party that I did for myself. I had a birthday party for myself. So I was just sharing the products that I loved, and my friends were buying them. And so with that, everything just completely changed. It was literally a light bulb that turned on. To be able to describe it in words, it was literally that, a light bulb. Just everything in my mind completely changed. I finally realized that this is a better way, that network marketing and our business is 100% a better way to provide for my children. I was enjoying life. I was literally having my cake and eating it too. I was enjoying life. I was providing for my family on that balcony, watching my children play on the beach. And everything became clear. And from that day, I just took off. And so I went from yellow status in January, February 1st of February 1st of 2015, I was yellow status. March of 2015, I became green status. And in April of 2015, I became orange status. And then in November of 2015, I hit exclusive purple status, and that's my current rank. It's all been a journey, an amazing, beautiful journey. And it was literally because my mind changed and my mind switched focus. And now I have a team of 580 people. So we've grown exponentially. We have so many generations of just absolutely beautiful women who are doing so many amazing things for their families. And I get the privilege of hanging out with them every single day. So that's where I'm at right now.
Shoot. My internet sometimes hates me. So forgive me if, now it's just my face. But I'm still here. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, my internet is just not fantastic. So I'm just going to keep talking even though it's not my face. All right, so what are some, first of all, your story made me tear up. Like, and I know that I've heard it before, but it makes me tear up just to think about you sitting on that balcony because dang it, it's so true. There are days that I, like, it shocks me, you know, what I get to do. Literally having your cake and eating it too, for real. So what are some business challenges and setbacks that you faced along the way? Because we all have places in our business where we feel like we've hit a wall or just things that are hard. This business is not always easy. There's problems. So what are some of the problems and challenges and setbacks that you faced and how did you handle them?
I've had every challenge that you can imagine. I've had it happen to me. I've had naysayers. I have dealt with unsupportive family members. I have dealt with unsupportive spouse. I have had it all. If you can name it, I've had my husband tell me I've been on the phone too much. I've had people tell me that they don't know what to do with me anymore because all I deal with is just talking about my business and how happy I am with it. And so I found out that negative loves negative. And as long as you are listening to the negativity and listening to people trying to bring you down, then that's all you're going to do. You're just going to be set there and you're going to be set in a position where you can't move forward because people are trying to bring you down. You have your, you have all of these things. And I try my best to do a lot of personal development. And I truly, truly believe in the laws of distraction. I love the laws of attraction, but the laws of distraction, it can take everything that you've built up, everything that you've worked hard for, and then you have that one person come in and they say something negative, or one person tells you no, that they won't buy your product, or you have one failed party, or you have one thing that kind of just pushes you down, and then everything good that you've ever done, it's completely wiped out. It's completely ruined. And so what I do to get past all of that, to get past the distraction, of this and doing this number, scrolling, what I do to get past all of that is I focus. I focus in on why I'm doing this business. I focus in on everything that I want. I completely surround myself when I'm working with reminders of why I'm doing my business. I keep in the forefront of why I'm doing this business. I know why I'm doing this business. And so anyone who brings you down or is hurting you or is not helping you push forward with your business, you have to either tune them out, because you can't get rid of family members. There's just no way you can get rid of family members, but you can tune them out. You don't have to listen to what they say. You know just as well as I know that there is good. This business makes you feel good. It brings up your confidence. Before this, I didn't put on makeup, and I'm certainly not a makeup artist. But when I put on my makeup, I feel so much better about myself. And when I see one of my girls doing so well and conquering their fears and being in a situation where they cannot I have one girl, and yesterday I was speaking with her, and when she joined, she told me that she couldn't even order pizza. So she didn't know that she would be able to do any type of videos. And she came to me and she was like, I really want to do Facebook Live. This girl just signed a few months ago. And look at her now. The confidence that comes from this, it's so powerful. If we just overcome our obstacles, there's going to be obstacles every single day. You just have to focus on why you're doing it. And if you lose focus, refocus. And don't let people bring you down, because they're not the ones paying your bills. They're not the ones who are going to put your children through college. They're not the ones who are going to step in and do the things that need to be done for you and for your family. And so just constantly getting, losing focus of what everyone else has going on, and just continuing to have blinders on and just look forward. Don't look to the side. Don't look behind you. Just look forward. Look forward to what your goals are and meeting your goals and creating the legacy that your family deserves. So, that's where I just constantly focus on my why I do it. Focus on my team and helping them, because if I was to lose focus, then they're going to lose focus. And so every single day we're constantly dealing with those things, but focusing and refocusing and getting rid of the laws of distraction and focusing on the laws of attraction and just keep pushing forward, then I really truly feel like, well, the sky's the limit. There will be no limitations, because everything that has been pushing you down, it will motivate you to do more. So that's what I do. I just constantly focus on my why, and I just continue to push forward no matter what. And there are times where I have to step back and I have to think, like, okay, this is just a lot for me right now. So I will go and read a book, or I will, go to the mall, just turn off my phone. I'll go to the mall and I'll just go shopping, or I will go to the park and just walk around the park. We have nature trails nearby, and I will just not tell anyone where I'm going besides like my husband and my kids. And I will just go and I will just breathe and so that way I can refocus and get past whatever that was distracting me in the first place. But yeah, that's what I do. I could probably talk for years about it.
No, but you know what? I love what you said about the laws of distraction, because it's so true. We can be 100% on course and 100% motivated, and then all it takes is one negative comment. All it takes is one.
And it'll ruin everything. It'll ruin everything that you've built up.
Absolutely. I think there's a certain kind of mental toughness that you have to develop to carry on past it. And when you can develop that mental toughness, and like you said, a big part of how you do that is focusing on why you do it in the first place. I love that when you do work, you surround yourself with showing yourself why it is that you do this in the first place, because that keeps you, like you said, that keeps you focused. Like, those are actual tangible cues that you can look at and be like, all right, this person said this and it sucks and it hurts, but bigger picture, like, keep on keeping on.
Definitely. And, and then when you have those situations, just refocusing. And it's hard sometimes. Sometimes people can be mean. They can be downright cruel. And just refocusing on why you're doing it. And if you need to take a breather, take a breather, but don't live there. Don't live in the negativity. Don't live in they're not going to help you in the long run. These
Right.
people that are hurting you, they're going to continue hurting other people. If you allow them to hurt you, that's the only time they're really, truly going to hurt you. If you
Right.
don't allow them to hurt you, then they're really not going to. If
Right.
they say no, that's fine. Move on. Because in all honesty, a no is never really, truly a no until they're dead. Because I've had people tell me no, and then 3 months later, they're wanting to buy product. No is never really, truly no until they're dead. So just
Right.
move forward. Like, okay, you don't want it today? We'll talk about it later.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay, so along the same lines, so, business challenges, setbacks, so that's things like, people who say no, people who tear down your business, people, that sort of stuff. What are personal struggles? Because I know that as we build our businesses, and like I think about, to give a few examples, like I think about Bree, and she has her health situation and various things like that we know about. What are things that you have personally, that you're comfortable, sharing, of course, that you've struggled with along the way, that you've had to continue working your business through? Because a lot of times our personal lives stop us from building our business the way that we originally wanted to. Sometimes things happen in our personal lives that make us step back from our business and quit doing what we're doing. And so are there any personal struggles that you've had that could have deterred you from your business, that you've just powered through?
Definitely. My husband, I'll say, is my, when I first started this, he was just like almost any other person in this world who's ever heard really anything about network marketing. They don't hear it as network marketing. They don't see the business side of what our business truly can do. They just see the negative thing that goes around direct sales. Oh, you're just going to be a salesperson. Oh, you're just going to be spammy. Oh, you're just going to do that. Nobody's going to like you. My husband, he trying to conquer him and get him to where he was on board. Even when I was an Orange Status leader, he still was not 100% on board. When I quit my job, he was just like, "This is the craziest thing you're ever gonna do," and good luck. It was he, and I hear it a lot of times, and I don't feel like I'm alone. A lot of times people's spouses are, they're not on board with this business. They're not on board with us, spending so much time building our businesses, and how much time you have to truly dedicate into your business, building your leaders and building your teams, and selling the products and having the parties and focusing your brain and doing all the things all the time that you have to invest. But one way that I always told my husband when I first started, was I was like, I can either do this at home, or I can go get a second job and be away from home. So which one do you want?
Right.
And so, because either way, if I get a part-time job outside of the house, or if I'm at home and I take 2 or 3 minutes or 30 minutes or, an hour to do whatever I'm doing, which one would you prefer? And he would always just kind of like look at me like cross-eyed and just, and then let me go. But it's always, again, focusing on why you're doing it, because this is my business. This is mine. And I knew the potential of it, and I've always known the potential of it. And it just took him, and sometimes it still takes him. Sometimes he still say stuff like, just kind of side comments. But I just kind of look at him like he's crazy and just keep moving forward. But I really think, conquering your spouse sometimes is really challenging, and that's definitely something that I've had to do. And so I can completely sympathize with anyone who's had to win over their spouse in their business, because I worked full time outside of the home before I started doing Unique full time. And, I've always had a steady paycheck. I knew my paycheck was going to be every 2 weeks, and, everything was comfortable. Everything was fine. And so the risk, I think, scared him. Not knowing, he's very much I have a salary, and I know what my check is going to be. So I know how much my bills are, and I know how much money I'm gonna have left over. And, that was him. So he always just wanted to, I guess he was just erring like on the side of caution. And so with me, I'm just more of a wild spirit. So I'm like, let's just do it. It'll be fine. And so that, I think, that has definitely been a challenge, trying to keep our marriage happy and afloat, and me still be able to run my business the way I need to. But they're winnable. Our men have married us for a reason, and so they've married a very strong and determined woman, and so just keep pushing. If you're dealing with the same situation I was dealing with and still kind of deal with, just keep pushing forward, because eventually you're going to win them over. And now my husband, if I ask my husband, he's probably going to kill me, Russell. But if I need to color match, when I was first learning to color match, I color matched on him, because I was like, okay, I need to see what this color looks like, so I need your arm. And so he would let me put the product on his arm, and I actually have a few pictures of it out there, I think. But I've covered his tattoos. I have used the product on him, and so he, I've won him over in ways, and I use him in my business. I use him in different ways in our business, and I'm kind of just like incorporating him with it, even though it's mine. I still incorporate him with the business, ask him, like, because he's a very strong leader in his job, and so I ask him different leadership things to help guide me, so that way hopefully I can be a better leader to my girls. And so so I've incorporated him. I've asked him to help me with different things. He will sit down, and if I have like a bulk order going out, he'll sit down and he'll help me with like labels and stuff. And so we talk and we do it together. And so we've had to work through that, but it's definitely one of those things. It's definitely a relationship that's building with him loving my business. But he's getting there. He's getting there. And so just keep through it. It's worth it. It's worth it to get through it, and involve your husband if you can. Involve your family. I involve my daughter in my business almost every single day. She's with me. I pick her up at 12 o'clock. And so I include her with my business with almost every aspect that I can. And, just involving your family. If you're set with that struggle, or, that personal thing of, trying to win over your family, just involve them with it, and they'll see how much fun you're having, and then they'll have fun with you. And I think that eventually, some people, it may take a shorter amount of time than others, but eventually you'll win over your family, and they'll be on board with you just as much as my husband is now. He even hands out business cards to his people now, so it makes me happy.
Sometimes I think husbands get super skeptical, especially if they know the negative stigma, or they've heard only the negative stigma of this business. They are the type that you have to sorry about that, you literally have to prove it to them. I've heard people talk about how, if you have somebody objecting to your business, like a spouse, use that as to fuel your fire, to show them, hey, look, this is legit. And it seems like you've really come a long way in being like tuning out his negativity and trying to derail your business and turn it into something that you're like, hey, look.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Showing him a better, that it is a better way, which is awesome.
Definitely taken a lot of conversation, and it's been worth it. And two, I've shown examples of my peers that, this is what this person is doing, and she's doing just as much as I'm doing. And look at how much, look at how much her team is growing, and look how much her business is growing. Right. And so I've used my peers as examples to show him, like, hey, there's nothing different about her than there is about me. I can do this, man. And right. And so he's come a long way. He does, like, if I'm on my phone, he'll tell my daughter. Before, he would just be like, whatever. But now if I'm on my phone and I'm doing something, he'll just take care of my kids for me if he's home. He's away a lot. And so that's definitely something that I have to overcome personally as well, because, with my husband's job, he's gone, a lot more than a lot of husbands are gone. So I'm right. taking care of the kids a lot by myself, and just, getting through all of those, setting schedules and doing those things, and trying to keep to my schedule, making sure that my kids have their time, and my husband has his time, and my business has its time, and just making sure that I find that perfect balance for everything. And it's worked out amazingly. It's worked out so beautifully, but it's definitely been something that I've had to work on, and I've had to remain consistent and remain determined to gain.
For sure. Sorry, Ben came running in here.
It's okay.
So no, yes, the balance and the having to prove your business to people. I think in general, just a huge part of our business is having to overcome those stigmas, not just from our spouses, but from family members and from friends. And the longer we do it and the more committed we are to it, the more we begin to win people over, basically.
Start taking you seriously versus thinking, oh, well, this is just what she's doing for now, and she'll lose interest in a week and then she'll move on. So proving that you're in it and that you're in it for the long haul is, you know, it'll win them over. It just takes a little bit of time and just to step up.
Absolutely. So you've kind of already answered my next question, which is why do you do this business? I'm assuming, but if you could share it in just more specific detail, why?
In all honesty, my why has it's morphed a lot since I started. Obviously, when I started, it was just 100% get to my kids. I was in a situation where, you know, I was working full time and I was away a lot. My husband's is away way more than he's gone all the time. And so it was more, I wanted to be with my family. I wanted to be with my kids. I wanted to be the one raising my children. And so that was definitely the beginning. When I first started, my focus was, I need to do more for my family. I need to do more for my kids. And, you know, and I see a long-term goal of being at home and doing this full time. And that was my initial why. And then it became more, not just my family, but then it became more of my team's families. So where I was like, okay, my why is definitely my kids. It's definitely turned into my kids and my girls, my family, their family. And so making sure that they can be with their families as much as I can help them be there. And so when, you know, helping them and focusing on them and making sure that they're taken care of and that they can feel the same things that I feel, a combination of my family and their family, that's the reason why I do this business. Because it's really, truly, it's not about me. It's about my little people and then all of my 500 plus people, their little people, and making sure that they're taken care of. So between me and like 580 something other people, that's where my why is.
Like 580 families that I want to, you know, I think that's awesome. And I think, I know, I don't just think, I know that the longer we do this business, the more we have to keep evaluating why we do it. You know, a lot of times the reason why we get into it isn't the reason why we're doing it 6 months later, and it isn't the reason why we're doing it a year later.
It definitely works every time.
And so, but having that strong, powerful motivator, especially initially, like for you getting home to be with your kids, is huge. I remember when you quit your job, like what a huge, scary move to make.
It was terrifying.
And I'm sure your husband was like, what? My husband, if I had been working full time and like that, he'd be like, come again, what? Sorry for the trade.
Yeah, and it was kind of, when I quit my job, it was one of those things that I just had to do it or I wasn't going to do it because I was so scared. And we were getting ready to leave for the cruise. And it was one of those things I had to choose. I was like, either I go on the cruise or I quit my job because I couldn't take leave. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it and we'll see what happens. And I had been at my job for like 7 years and no regrets, 0 regrets. I promoted the very next month.
Heck yeah, feel the fear. Nothing, there's no bigger motivator than necessity.
Yeah, definitely. And in all honesty, being, you know, I tell people like, you know, when you go into this business and if you're going into the business that you have to be hungry, no, you have to be starving. And it was one of those things like I had to prove it to all of my family. All of my family was just like, you're insane. I can't believe you're quitting your job. and yeah, it was, you know,
it was a time, man, but that very next month.
But no regrets. Like I would never go back there, ever.
Absolutely, dude. Okay, so finally,
like this office works for me.
Yeah, I think that. I think there are times I'm like, is this my real life right now? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, for sure.
It's the best ever, like the best thing I've ever done. So I totally, like, I just want to high five you. Okay, so to some meat and potatoes and last question, and we're going to wrap up. It's been so super wonderful to hear your story, and I think people need to hear your story. I don't think enough people know your story, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm really, really happy for people to hear it. But you have been tremendously successful. You, like you told in the beginning of your story, you know, once you made up your mind in January and made that decision, you sort of flew through the ranks. You hit purple status in November. You have been a stone's throw away from black status now for a couple months. Like you are tracking to be black status. And there are a lot of people who come into this business and they want that. They want to make that decision, and they want to be black status. They want to be black status one day, and follow in your footsteps. So what are your top 3 tips for somebody who says they want to be successful at this business?
This one's hard because I have like a list that's like this long. But I would say number 1, no excuses. Lose your excuses. Forget the word can't.
Yep.
There are no excuses. If you want this, you will find a way. What you want, you will prioritize. It will be a priority for you to figure out a way. I cannot tell you, I work full time and I got to orange status in 3 months. And I was working in a business where in a job where I couldn't even bring my phone in. So what I would do is I scheduled my time. I was running on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. I got up an hour early before I needed to get up, and that way I could take 30 minutes to work on personal development. I could go ahead and schedule anything that I wanted to. I could go ahead and write out like something motivating to my team. I could make a video for my team. I could do whatever I needed to do for my parties. I did all of that in those 30 minutes. Right. And I went to work, and at my lunch, I cannot tell you how many times my lunch consisted of a banana, a granola bar, and some water, because I spent my entire lunch break, focusing on my business, working my business that entire hour that I had, or 30 minutes, or whatever my lunch break was at that time. And then when I got off work, before I actually left my job, I would spend 15 minutes answering messages, and then, I would go and handle all of my business. And then after my family went to bed, I would like spend another hour or 2 working my business. So, if you have a will, there will be absolutely no excuses that you can give. If someone tells you to jump, you will jump higher than what they expect you to jump. You will Google, gives you so many answers. Our support, if you go to your back office and in support, you can search like almost any question that you have. And so when you want it, yep, your brain will be like this huge sponge and take it all in. And so lose your excuses, lose any and all excuses, because if you want it, you will figure out a way. If you want to make money and you want to do whatever your why is, you will figure out a way. And so just lose excuses, because you can't have excuses when you're building a business. I don't know any business owners who have successful businesses, whether it's in network marketing or if it's something that's private. They have no excuses. I have a friend who is a baker, and I cannot tell you how many times a day she posts pictures of her beautiful cakes. But people are scared to post pictures of beautiful faces with their beautiful makeup on. And so you can't have excuses. You can't have them. They're just not going to help you. My second thing will be mindset. Get your mind right. Your mind will be your biggest cheerleader, and it will be your biggest critic. That right there in itself. Get your mind together. My husband, he played college football. He was a starter for a really big university in West Virginia, and he would tell me that before the game, he didn't talk to anyone. Nobody called him. He didn't do anything. He got his mind into the game. He was ready to play, and he was very successful at that. And now with his job, before he goes out and he does what he does, he doesn't really talk to anyone. He'll sit in his room. He'll do what he has to do to get his mind right. And so getting your mind in the game, getting it to where you can push forward and you can do it. Because like this right here, this is terrifying for me. I cannot describe to you in words how insanely terrifying this is. But before I came on, I got my mind together. I listened to some music that was just really got me going, and it got me to where I could focus and I could do this. And so whatever it is that gets you, gets your mind together to where you can push forward and you can not look this way or that way, do it. And, you know, I read personal development every single day. Every single day. If I don't read something, I'm listening to something, I'm watching something. I do personal development at least 30 minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes 2 hours. It just depends on where I'm at, you know, with my mind. If my mind needs more, then I'm going to soak up more. And you know, mindset is going to be key. It's going to be your biggest cheerleader, and it's going to hold you back. When you have your name there, if you go and you read a book, You Are a Badass, read Girl Code, read, you know, some of those books that just really truly just pump you up, read them and get them in there. And if you have to listen to the audio version, if you're more of an audio person, you know, you listen better than you can read, do it. Do whatever you have to do. Watch some videos on YouTube. You can find some motivational speakers who will blow your mind, and they will have you jumping for joy and ready to take over the world. And so definitely just get your mind together. Get it together. And then the third thing that I really think that this is very crucial. When you're working your business, don't work your business with the thought of, I have to sell to this person. Work your business thinking, I have to build a relationship with this person. I want this person to trust me with her cosmetic needs. I want this person to trust me with her beauty needs. I need for her to be able to trust me. So build that relationship with people. Don't go into a new relationship with someone and think, I got to sell to them. They need to host a party. Build your relationship. We are in my opinion, we are very much in a relationships business. We are not in a business to just sell. We want a relationship with these people, so that way when another presenter comes to them that they've known for a long time, they don't think, okay, well, you know, I've known you, so I'm going to quit Charissa. No, you want to have that relationship so they know that when they come to you, you will give them the most solid piece of advice. You're not going to try to do something just to make money off of them. You want to have that solid, strong relationship. And it's not just, you know, with your customers and with your potentials. You know, you want to have that relationship with your team members, and so that way they can trust you. So when you go to them and you have to be like, okay, look, you did this wrong, they know that you're doing it with love. And so you're not going to be able to build a relationship with everyone in your team, because, you know, it's going to grow super big. But when you show up with love. And so just building relationships with everyone that you possibly can, and not, not letting anything else hold you back. Even when I go out and I make the decision I'm going to go blitzing for the day, I don't go out with, okay, I'm going to sell 5 mascaras today. I go out with the thought process, okay, I'm going to meet 5 new friends. And with that 5 new friends, I'm going to talk to them, and we're going to talk about life, and we're going to go ahead and connect. And if we talk about makeup, fine. But I've built that relationship with them. They know I'm not just a person on the internet who sells things. They're going to know that, oh, this girl, she was in the diaper aisle at Target, and she gave me some solid advice about some diapers. And so they know that I can give them good advice. So build that relationship. Build relationships with people so they can trust you. I don't go to all of the hairdressers on the, every hairdresser that I see, because I've built a relationship with her. I know she's not going to mess up my hair. And so it's the same thing with any other type of beauty thing. You know, you want them to be able to trust you with their face, so that way when they go out, they're not going to have the most crazy looking face every day. And so those are my top 3 things I think would definitely help anyone to be successful in this.
Ben. He's laughing behind me. I think those are amazing. You know, it's so funny because I think that we get, oh my gosh, sorry. I think that we get hung up sometimes on the hard, what I call the hard skills of this business. And I don't mean hard as in they're difficult, but the, you know, exactly how to do a party just right, exactly how to sponsor just right, exactly how to do XYZ just right. We get super hung up on those details. And the truth of the matter is that true success in this business doesn't have anything to do with being awesome at those things. True success comes from those 3 things that you just talked about, you know, getting your mind right. I can't remember the first one. I'm sorry.
No excuses.
Say it again.
No excuses.
Yeah, no excuses, getting your mind right, and building relationships. If you can do those 3 things, everything else falls in line. You know, things like how to do parties, things like how to sponsor, there's so much information out there on how to do those things, guys.
And you find your groove with all of those things. You know, the basis of our business is network, book, sell, sponsor. There's 4 things that are the basis of our company. And
right.
So, you know, those things are, you find your groove with those as long as you're consistently trying to do them. But you know, if you're not building on your fundamentals of the book, network, sales, sponsor, then you know you're not really gonna get where you want to go. So you just have to continuously do those things and find your groove and find how you like to party, because you know my party, the way I party versus the way you party may be completely and totally different. But yeah, we're both still very successful. So it's all about finding what your groove is and just working the heck out of that groove.
Heck yeah. Well, and you know, and the basis for that groove is not having excuses, you know, because like you said, you and I may party totally different. You and I may find our way of sponsoring people to be completely polar opposites, but the things we have in common are our mindset, the no excuses, and building relationships. The knowing those 3 things and getting all those 3 things in line sets you up for success. And then, you know, you find your groove with the parties, you find your groove with sponsoring, and it might not look like every other successful person around you, but it doesn't matter, because what successful people in this business have in common is when, you know, the top 3 things you just said. So thank you so much for,
you're welcome.
I know, guys, you have to know that, you know, I don't care how successful you are or what rank you are, people have a comfort zone, and people are more comfortable doing things than others. I'm going to tell you, Charissa has been very, very, like she acknowledged here, she's been very nervous about doing this. But guys, she did it anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm terrified right now. I'm still shaking. Like I'm turning my chair because I'm trying to like.
but you know, we do scary things anyway because they need to be done. Because you know, it's important for people to hear your story. It's important for people to know, you know, the fundamentals to success, which a lot of times they're not tangible. They're in our mind, you know, and I think that's awesome. So thank you so much. And I appreciate
me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate doing this.
And I can't wait for you to hit black status. I'm super pumped. It's going to happen, man.
Girls to get there. I have some faces doing some awesome things right now.
Heck yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna end this, but thank you. And guys, stay tuned because next week there will be another interview with a leader. We're gonna interview Molly Stack, Orange Status Presenter. And yeah, my dog's freaking out, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the broadcast now.